Don't panic. I was told when I woke this morning that my wife had been listening to the radio, and among the things on the news were the following: that the head of Al-Qaeda had been assassinated in Kabul by an American drone, which could set off all sorts of repercussions, that Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker, was after all going to visit Taiwan today, which could set off another world war, and that the latest climate report suggested that within 50 years or less, something like 2 billion people would be in areas which were unlivable and would have to move. So this was the cheering news as I stumbled into wakefulness, and I thought, oh my goodness me, not another catalogue of near and potential disasters. But then I thought of one of my favourite books, which is Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And for those of you who remember that wonderful book and the film and the radio program, the guide to the galaxy which he carries around him has on the front the following suggestion: don't panic. The hero, Ford Prefect, needs that advice because the first thing he faces very early on in the book is the extinction of planet Earth, which will be destroyed within a few seconds. And so he needs the advice, and he needs it throughout his travels when he's facing insuperable difficulties and chaos and destruction. And he no doubt murmurs to himself, don't panic. And that's what I've learned to do. From very early on in my life, like everyone else, I was faced with situations which would easily tip me over into panicking. Panicking being the sensation where you lose control of your feelings and your mind, and you just are aimless and without a plan, and you just grab for the nearest straw as if you were drowning. And it's totally futile, because if there is any chance of resolving something, you certainly won't get it in the state of panic. But it's easy enough to say don't panic. It's another thing to actually live it. I'm told by my friends I'm fairly calm, and when faced with loss of my passports and money in Nepal, I tried to be calm, cool. My various recipes for doing that are one is to count to 50 or 100, and by the time I've done that, a second is deep breathing, a form of sort of meditation, and deep breathing, oxygenating the body, means that you're concentrating on something else and your mind is cleared. And a third is to try and see the funny side of things. Humour is often a great diffuser of panic. You see it often in comedian shows, Monty Python and so on. There are moments when they all, particularly John Cleese, seems to panic, and other people calm him down and through humour. So usually what you have to do is to take whatever the crisis is and then place it in front of you and see the dimensions of it. See that there are solutions probably if you step back. So you have to step back and above the current situation, above yourself in your engagement with that situation, and see the various avenues which could lead you to at least a postponement of panic. Panic, no doubt, will come if we do blow ourselves up, and there's a few seconds before we do so. But until that time comes, try and act rationally. And the other reason for doing that is certainly if you are in company, and particularly if you're an older or a parent or whatever, if other people pick up your panic, then they also will panic. Human beings can sense fear and panic very easily, just as can animals. They know when you are afraid and they will attack you, and children and younger people. So as a teacher, through my years, as a growing older member of our society, I've tried to remember the very sane advice of Douglas Adams: don't panic.